Hey look, I'm back on camera. The sick is mostly past and I'm returning to business as usual. Hello John. Hello world. Let's start things off with something I found embedded in my Facebook feed. I do want to thank my friend Lance for being the one to share it, so I ended up seeing it. If you happen to be a Twitch streaming, game watching fan, go check out the Ginger on Twitch. This is quoted from a gentleman named Jackson Katz. We talk about how many women were raped last year, not about how many men raped women. We talk about how many girls in a school district were harassed last year, but not about how many boys harassed girls. We talk about how many teenage girls in the state of Vermont got pregnant last year, rather than how many men and boys impregnated teenage girls. So you can see how the use of the passive voice has a political effect. It shifts the focus off of men and boys and onto girls and women. Even the term violence against women is problematic. It's a passive construction. There's no active agent in the sentence. It's a bad thing that happens to women, but when you look at the term violence against women, nobody is doing it to them. It just happens to them. Men aren't even a part of it. A little on Dr. Katz himself. He's an American educator, filmmaker, and author, and he has created a gender violence prevention and education program entitled Mentors in Violence Prevention, which is used by the U.S. military and various sporting organizations. Jackson took the stage for a TED Talk in November of 2012 to discuss this very construct. It's called Violence Against Women. It's a men's issue. And I recommend you all check it out. It's a little over 17 minutes long, but I think it can be a beneficial thing to see and hear. Link to that will be in the doobly-doo. So as you can tell, we're definitely talking about the Me Too movement that's sweeping the public eye right now. Part of me is just shocked to see how many people have suffered from some sort of sexual abuse or assault. A huge part of me is rightfully dismayed. How could we have let this get so bad? And then the analytical part of my brain takes over and tries to answer that very question. One from the recent revelation made by the statement from Jackson Katz. It's how we, as the society that we are, frame these events. The language used puts the focus on the women in this situation, which definitely subconsciously pulls focus from the actual problem. The man who perpetrated it. Another big well-known player of it is fear. Not just retaliation or escalation of the abuse from the perpetrator, but also the sudden change in how people see them. Why come forward when so much adversity befalls you when you do? Pity, unfounded degrading opinions, disbelief, and disdain. And I have to ask, why? What kind of justification can a person have for punishing a victim of a crime? Victim blaming is one of the huge contributing factors to both the fear of coming forward, as well as just a huge problem in our modern society. There's a strange phenomenon that can be observed where people get it into their head that their own experience is the only correct experience a person should have. That's a bit of a generalization, and in a sense it is, but I have no better way to put it. It's the, well, it's never happened to me before, so you must have done something to allow this thing to happen to you. Obviously, that is, without a shadow of a doubt, utterly and completely false. I spent a large part of my youth and my early adulthood believing and behaving in such a way that I knew the right way to do or think about anything. I embodied the I know exactly what to do and how to handle and avoid those situations kind of arrogance. What I found to be the issue, once my life came crashing down because of it and more, was that I lacked compassion for other people to an almost clinical degree. Once I had that revelation, I've done my absolute best to accept, if not fully understand, the perspective of others, even if it differs vastly from my own. It's stupendously arrogant and narcissistic to think that one person or one group knows what's best for every single person. People are not the same. People are people, and through our differences makes us equal, and makes us stronger. There is no one right way. No one has that one simple answer that will encompass everyone. The focus needs to stop being put on the victims, but be put on the problem itself. The vast majority of the perpetrators of these disgusting acts of abuse and violence are men. So the focus needs to be put towards educating men of any possible age that this is worse than not okay. She was asking for it is probably one of the most ignorant phrases ever uttered. The people at fault are those who act them out. Boys with bright futures should be held accountable for the rapes they commit. Good people don't choose rape. It's not an accident. Stop letting them get away with this and hold them accountable. This one was supposed to be a lot more thought out, but no matter how I tried, I just kept getting angry. Reading statistics, seeing the multitudes of women who have been assaulted, friends, family, and countless crowds of women who have experienced this in one way or the other. It's disgusting. We need to stop being okay with a society that marginalizes the people that aren't straight white men. Watch the news, hear the stories, just listen. Women have survived that. Women are much stronger than us. I was raised by my mother. I didn't have a father. So one would expect that I would grow up to respect women. You're goddamn right I did. That's all I got, John. Go sleep and we'll talk soon.